I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing. They wanna watch Jake Paul because he's
Out that Canelo Jake Paul is a thing in May as well. Which, by the way, what a freaking year for Canelo Alvarez. Holy shit. Those are
Canelo Alvarez has finally shared his first words about his rumored fight with Jake Paul. Canelo and Jake have reportedly reached an agreement to square off in May. The bout is expected to serve as a warm-up for Canelo as he gears up to defend his unified super middleweight titles against Terence Crawford on September 13th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
it ends up being close.
Yes.
A lot of people are going to watch that fight, right?
A lot, because I think a lot of people are going to want to see Jake Paul lose. And
100%.
According to Julius Julianis, Canelo and Paul have reached an agreement. However, key details, such as the weight class and number of rounds, remain uncertain. With a record of 62-22, Canelo has never been one for exhibitions, making it unlikely he entertain anything less than a legitimate bout. Canelo versus Paul is poised to surpass the Mexican star's September showdown with Terence Crawford often PIF sales. Jake Paul's immense social media presence, boasting 23.6 million Instagram followers and 26 million YouTube subscribers, gives the fight a massive promotional edge.
Go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call it a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen three more years from now. I'm going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for it.
Crawford's popularity pales in comparison. His last pay-per-view bout against Israel Madrimov on August 3rd was a complete flop, drawing an estimated 75,000 to 100,000 buys. If not for Turki Al-Sheikh's willingness to throw big money at Alvarez, a fight with Crawford wouldn't even be worth considering. Social media is buzzing with disbelief as fans refuse to believe Canelo would lower himself to fighting YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. Yet in a recent interview with TMZ Sports, the Mexican superstar made it clear if the price is right, he's open to it. Financially, a showdown with Jake could far outweigh the payday from his scheduled May bout against IF super middleweight champion William Skull. There's already an agreement for Jake Paul to be Canelo Alvarez's rival in May of this year. A source very close to the operation informs me the event will be co-promoted by Canelo Promotions, MVP, and PBC, said Julius Julianis on X about Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul fight in May. Jake Paul just defeated 59-year-old Mike Tyson by 8 rounds and unanimous decision in Arlington, Texas on November 15th. If Canelo were to fight Jake, it would only fuel the notion that he's coasting through a retirement tour, cashing in on low-risk matchups while squeezing every last dollar from his fan base via pay-per-view. Since his defeat to Dmitry Bivol on May 7, 2022, he hasn't truly tested himself in a high-stakes fight. There's no concrete proof that this fight is legitimate. A suspicion even fans seem to share amid the speculation. Boxing commentator Wade Plins has stepped in to offer his take on the situation. I thought if this was ever going to happen, it would be years from now, he wrote on S, reacting to the update. Plins wrote, but in 3 months, while Canelo is still a sitting champ, if this is real, it's the last thing anyone would expect right now. He added what he wrote next, though dispelled the supporters' delusion that the battle wasn't real. I don't know one way or another, but there are too many respected journal and analysts talking for this to just be nothing. He added, could be a bad source or a purposeful bait. But this isn't something reporters just make up. As Plem said, the media wouldn't take the claim seriously if it were wholly false. It appears that Ariel Helwani is in favor of the May fight. On the February 4th episode of the Ariel Helwani show, the seasoned MMA journalist appeared to accept the report at face value, though he stopped short of verifying its legitimacy. He also made no mention of the possibility that it could be fabricated or, as Plem suggested, a deliberate ruse. This could indicate that the rumor has some merit and that Canelo Alvarez will be involved in 2 highly anticipated bouts in 2025. There are some reports now coming out that Canelo versus Jake Paul is a thing in May as well, which, by the way, what a freaking year for Canelo Alvarez. Holy, those are 2 gigantic paydays. These are 2 massive things, Helwani said. While a showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul might sound like pure speculation, EXP reactions and emerging reports hint that there could be more to it than mere fantasy. Whether this clash materializes remains to be seen. But for now, what do you think could this fight actually happen?
If it's a close fight, does it diminish the gigantic fight in September, or does it make you more interested? Because I think now, I mean, David Benavidez offered a deferring point, but I think a lot of people think Canelo is just going to be too.
Although Wani didn't explicitly confirm the reports, he also didn't refute them given his reputation for being well connected. It's clear he often has the inside track on such rumors. While Helwani didn't directly confirm the rumors, he also didn't deny them considering his established network and track record. It's evident that he's often in the know when it comes to such speculation. Not many are betting on Jake Paul to stand a chance in his potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez. This May for Cinco deal, the cruiserweight, has built his career largely by facing non-boxers capitalizing on their age or skill gaps to secure victories. A showdown between Paul and Canelo would be a lopsided affair, offering little incentive for most viewers to shell out money. The only scenario where this bout could stretch past the first round is if Canelo intentionally drags Jake along. A theory some fans speculate was the case in his recent bouts with Edgar Berlanga and Haim Mangia. This, they believe, was Canelo's way of dodging fan criticism for opting to face these relatively underwhelming opponents. The Canelo-Paul showdown for May is still unconfirmed, though speculation is mounting that the fight will take place. Alvarez likely sees this as a chance to earn some cash and stay active before facing the formidable Terence Crawford at 154 pounds in a September match that's sure to draw attention, though not as much as a true championship bout. This is the current state of Canelo's career. He's now fighting opponents far beneath his skill level to avoid being outpaced.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, you know, where his mindset is.
It by Canelo. I'm sorry. It's TMG.
Yeah, you can curse.
I apologize, but
no problem.
There's no way he can.
Jake has earned a significant fortune through boxing with an estimated net worth of $100 million. His massive social media presence on platforms like Instagram and YouTube enables him to rake in millions for each fight. Whether he's facing non-box or legends past their prime such as Mike Tyson, his loyal fan base continues to tune in eagerly. I mean this respectfully to Jake Paul. This is Canelo. We're talking about potentially top 5. This fight doesn't last around, said Adal Adipo to Downboxing about the Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul rumored fight for May. Oladipo added if Canelo wanted to get Jake Paul out of there in a round in a minute, I believe he does that again. This is no discredit to Jake Paul. I think what Jake Paul has done in the sport of boxing has been incredible. I think what him and his brother have done just in the world of entertainment has been incredible. But Jake Paul is fighting the guy that is pound for pound a guy that has only lost to Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, a guy that is still very much on the top of his game. Canelo versus Paul is about right for one round. You have to think that Canelo is carrying him if it goes past the first round. Oladipo said the courage of Jake Paul wanting to get in the ring with Canelo at this stage of Canelo's career is brave. This isn't Anderson Silva. This isn't Mike Tyson. This is a alleged live boxer. It's crazy. But considering the numbers they did on Netflix, I can imagine Jake Paul sitting down with Netflix and saying, how can we get something like that again? And however, a showdown between Canelo and Jake Paul has the power to completely revolutionize the boxing scene. Moreover, Jake Paul has also hinted he will return to fight in July in New York. The YouTuber turned boxer has hinted at a major announcement regarding his upcoming fight, marking his first since his triumph over Mike Tyson in the blockbuster event last November. Paul's appeal in the ring and his ambitions are on the rise, with speculation mounting about a range of potential matchups. Among the rumored opponents are a rematch with Tommy Fury and an ambitious bid to get Canelo Alvarez to step into the ring. If Paul faces Alvarez, it would probably act as a warm-up for his highly anticipated pound-for-pound showdown with Terence Crawford, with numerous reports indicating that the bout is set for September in Las Vegas. However, Paul appeared to announce his own return date on social media, so things don't quite fit up. He posted on X, "It's time, Saturday, July 5th, New York, New York. Any matchup with the pound-for-pound great would be ruined if Paul were to return on July 5th. The reason for this is that Alvarez won't be able to fight Paul in July, as he has already committed to facing Crawford just 2 months later in September. It would be a daring decision for the unified 168-ounce champion to break from his tradition of competing during the Mexican holiday weekends. In May and September each year, Paul has teased that his upcoming challenge will be his hardest to date, sharing a video of himself getting back to training at his gym in Porto. The problem child has consistently expressed his desire to step up and face the challenge of overcoming Alvarez, a fighter hailed as one of the best of this era. Paul's experience against reputable opponents is minimal, and it's highly improbable that any matchup would be approved for one of Alvarez.